Jesus Christ, you guys. I I don't even know what to say about the spoilers that we got, but it's going down. And I mean, I kind of I'm kind of obligated to throw an intro on this one, so let's roll the intro.
I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Pull up, say what's the deal, bruh? See how I lose my cool any second if they don't hear us. Many people will fear us. Say when you look in the mirror, don't you compare us to anything they get embarrassed. Ha, ha, woo. So many people be talking like they want the problems or something. I noticed that all of you polish and all of you people get punished. It's hard to keep food on your stomach, to all of the hustle keep running. That's hard to stay humble with nothing. We're off of the juggle, we're bugging. So let me come down all of a sudden. I told you that we keep it buzzing. Ha, woo. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out. Bounce. I ain't feeling nothing cause I'm numbed out.
Yo, what's up, everyone? It's your boy Jack OATz, the GOAT. You either know or you don't. So, before I even get into this video, this is going to contain spoilers. So, if you don't want spoilers, wait to view this video until Friday when the unofficials come out, or Sunday when the officials come out. This is your warning. I'm going to give you 3 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, because we're going to talk about this shit. So, a lot of stuff happened in this chapter. Like so much stuff. We have some like mid-tier demons that came out. Then we have the Ultimate Magic Crew launching a giant combo spell. But I think one of the coolest things that happened in this was Luck. And I don't know what Tabata is planning, but Luck has had so many just moments, I feel like. And I think it's almost time for Luck to bloom into whatever Tabata is going for. So I looked at Luck's new form. His new form is so fire. And I was looking at it and I was like, whoa, hold up. Because there's a point where he kicks off this demon's arm right before it launches an attack. And you can see that he's got a tail. And then he's got some orbs behind his back. And I'm thinking like, whoa, this is not the Luck that we saw in the Heart Kingdom. So obviously this is a result of the Ultimate Magic training. So the Ultimate Magic training is kind of what I want to talk about to get into these subjects. But I wanted to relate this image of Luck to some things that we have seen before. And if we remember back in the Elf arc, we had Luferlu. The only real difference between these two forms is, 1, the tail, and 2, the halo is now orbs. And this is something I'm surprised I didn't catch back then. Also, I was just starting and I was more worried about, like, devils and clip off back then, so I wasn't super worried about like Luck at all, but I should have been, obviously. So in Japanese lore we have what's called a Raijin, and that's just a thunder god, and there's no real complex lore on this. To be honest, I'm so thankful there's not. There's already enough to handle with like the Norse Kabbalistic and pagan lore, all that stuff. It's already a lot. So I'm glad there's not too much behind this. But I feel like Tabata is mixing a few elements of lore, maybe like 2 elements of lore, with 1 element of lore in the series, BC specific lore. So, if we look at Japanese mythology, Luck does resemble a Raijin, and so did Lufalu. There are a couple of different descriptions of Raijin, and while they're all thunder gods, one is depicted as having a halo behind him, just like Lufalu did, and then the other, I think it's the more common one that you see, is the one that we see with Luck, where we have oars behind his back. Now, something these Raijin don't have are tails. So I think this is where we start getting to the BC lore. But before I do that, I think this is also Tabata's way of keeping his characters rooted in Japan, because he is a mangaka. So it's only natural that you're going to represent Japanese mythology and stuff like that. But we do know that 99% of the story is Norse Kabbalistic lore. So is this Tabata maybe making Luck into a Raijin, but later on introducing the concept of gods? And the reason I say this is because we've all thought about how Luck might somehow either channel Odin, might be Odin or Thor. God, I'm mixing up my gods now, but you guys know what I mean. And it looks like he's getting closer and closer to something like this. But then I want to point out the tail, and this is where the BC lore is going to come in. The tail and the orbs are not just specific to the thunder gods, the Raijin, but this is something we see with the demon gods in BC. They have the orbs behind their back, and we have some information on how these guys work just from the last few chapters. So remember, when the second was summoned in the Clover Kingdom, Xenon goes over this very brief story with Yuno, because he's a nice guy, and sometimes you just want to talk during fights and not fight, want to give your opponents information. I don't know, anime stuff. Anyway, he says, demons are a miracle born from human hatred and the power of the underworld. So now it's up to us to interpret what that means. And he goes in by saying, long, long ago in the Spade Kingdom, there were two royal youths, close friends who had phenomenally strong magic. At some point, their affection turned to hatred, and they became demons. They fought and were sealed away. So their hatred turned them into these demons. And I don't take this as a full-on rundown of what happened. I'm sure there's a lot of variables inside of this that made them go that route. But then we get another few tidbits. One from Ariel Leona. She's been fighting one of the demon gods in the Spade Kingdom. And when the first gate was open and the second demon god was summoned in the Clover Kingdom, this one started growing orbs behind its back and grew wings. And she says it's absorbing mana through its wings. And I think that's important. But I want to keep going through just the information that we got. Just one more from Julius. This is right after Asta shows up. Julius says, the ancient demon is an enormous mass of supercharged magic. It repels all spells in existence and uses primitive, repetitive attacks to crush and mow down everything. So these are important tidbits, I feel like. Because what's happening is that we have mana being absorbed through its wings, which means it's possible that these guys are using not just their own magic, but also nature's magic. And if we go off of what we've seen and what we know, it seems as though we can only say that elves are able to reach this state if they become this desperate. We haven't been told otherwise, and Xenon did not specifically say whether these guys were elves or humans, so we have to stick with that elves are the only ones able to do this. And this is also going to kind of reflect on something I said a while back, where I don't think four-leaf humans will despair like four-leaf elves do. I think their purpose is something much different, and instead of finding despair, where elves have already found enlightenment, humans, instead of despairing, find enlightenment and access more divine power. So with that said, Luck has remnants of the elf magic from Lufalu. And we keep hearing that these guys know that, like, it's still there. It's just a matter of accessing that power. So I'm wondering through the ultimate training that Luck is I think he is the only one that got possessed by an elf. So him learning ultimate magic means that his body, his human body, is now able to hold all of this mana, because he's already extremely experienced with rune magic, which uses nature's mana. His own magic was already ridiculous. And now with this ultimate magic training, where he's going to learn to absorb even more magic, it's making him this mana machine. And this is definitely going to be more mana than a human normally stores. And I think even for a royal or a noble, this is going to be a lot more, especially with that special elf amp inside of him. So what I'm thinking happened with these demon gods is that they used all of those magic types. You have their own magic, their ultimate magic, rune magic possibly, and then maybe even some forbidden magic. I think you would have to do that to, become a demon. So Luck is hitting all of these different magic types right now, except for forbidden magic. And I think this kind of explains why he's looking the way he is, and why he's so strong. I mean, these mid-tier demons should be at least triad level, I would assume. These are the ones that would be triad level, not Lilith and Nama, like Noct was saying before. But he just straight up rips off the head of the one that started the attack. Is it a matter of Luck becoming a thunder god, finally? And I think it might be. I think this is the precursor to gods, and this is something that might take us into the next topic here. What makes the Clover Kingdom so special? And this was stated by Lola Pachica all the way back in the beginning of the Spade arc, is that the Clover Kingdom deviated and have most arcane magic, just like Julius and Yami that she stated, but a lot of our mages in the Clover Kingdom are arcane. And we can't say that about a lot of other mages from other places. They stem from the elements, like they normally should or would. So what happened with the Clover Kingdom? Now, we have to go back and look at the fact that the elves and the humans work together, and the elves actually entrusted the humans with the Shadow Palace, which means not only were they working together, but they were working together to keep the devils where they were. So while the elves were the only one who could open the Shadow Palace, the humans were responsible with pretty much keeping it away, and it would have to be a mutual pact between the two of them, the two races, to have the humans bring out the Shadow Palace, and then have the elves do what they do to open it up, and release whatever they need to. So it's my assumption that the Clover Kingdom has been influenced by demonic mana for a long time. And we kind of see this with some of our mages here. We have Xenon's Devil with spatial magic, and we have Finral and Longreese with spatial magic. These are arcane mages. And in just my last video, I explained how devils seem to have a real-time influence on the world of the living, whereas the Sephiroth and the apostles of them carry out abstract ideas and are more so concerned with enlightenment within than outwardly expressing their influence on the world. So it makes sense that it balances out this way. And I think we're going to find out that a lot of mages in the Clover Kingdom have to do with either gods or devils. And I'm still looking into this, but I think it's worth mentioning that Izanagi and Izanami are gods in Japanese lore that gave birth to Raijin. Well, I believe it was Izanami finds Izanagi's dead body. So Izanagi dies, and maggots start eating Izanagi. And from that, I think it was 5 Raijin are born. And it's a little confusing because Raijin is a term that literally means thunder god. But then you have some that's called the Black Raijin, the Young Raijin, the Great Raijin, and then there's one where I think is going to hit the most excitement because we have one called the Blossoming Raijin. And we see back in the Elf arc that Lufalu and Charlotte are siblings. Can I say that Charlotte and Luck are siblings in this series? I don't think we have enough evidence, but they're correlated somehow, I would say. And we know that Luck has was adopted, and he loved fighting, and he could never get a smile off his face. And that's another distinguishing aspect about Raijin, is that they look either really angry or they have this gleeful smile when they go to battle, and that fits Luck perfectly. But then we also have to remember that Charlotte was cursed. Her family was cursed. And she says that another mage that had influence from the another world cursed her family, which affected her magic. So we have to figure out why that mage decided to curse Charlotte's family. And it might be because they are akin to gods. And if this mage was influenced by the underworld, then it would be in their best interest to stifle the growth of potential gods and beings that can stop devils. I think that's where I'm going to leave it at. I kind of want to look at some more stuff before I say anything else. But these spoilers were fantastic. I'm already waiting for next week. Like I said, I'm so ready just to hear Lilith and Nama actually talk and give us some stuff to run with, because it's been a while, and I think that's the most important part here, is that we have actual real live devils here, and we're still going with, power-ups in different forms, and while it's great, I'm ready for like the whole meat of this story, which therein lies with Lilith and Nama. But anyway, it's fire nonetheless. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comment section below or on Twitter. Yeah, hit up my Twitter. I mean, there's a lot of conversations happening. I woke up to like almost 90 notifications because I kept spamming theories and stuff like that. So if you're not on there, at least find me on there. You don't have to follow me, but I do post stuff from time to time that is thought-provoking, I feel like. So give it a look. Other than that, this is Jack OATz to go. You either know, or did you guys see the Kaiju number 8 chapter? Oh, Hoshida, no. Anyway, that's next. So it's been Jack OATz to go. You either know or you don't.